Her voice was sharp, final. Only family is allowed on this jet. The words weren't loud, they didn't need to be. The weight of them did all the damage. The pilot wouldn't meet my eyes. The crew looked away. She placed a manicured hand on my chest, pushed, lightly, as if I was nothing more than a wrinkle in her plans. "You understand," she said, not a question. I stepped back onto the tarmac, watched the stairs rise, watched the door close. The engine screamed to life as she soared away. She thought that was the end. It wasn't even the beginning. I sat in the silence of my rental car, the dust still settling around me. Not a husband, not even a passenger, just something discarded. The jet disappeared into the clouds, and with it, 17 years of partnership, or so she thought. I wasn't surprised she removed me from her life. The signs had been surfacing for months. Whispers during board meetings, trips she conveniently forgot to mention, dinners where her phone buzzed endlessly beneath the table. Still, I'd told myself stories, excuses, that she was busy, stressed, focused. But there was always something colder hiding in her eyes. She didn't want me beside her anymore. She didn't need me. Not now that her company was soaring. Not now that the software, the one I'd built from nothing, had made her untouchable. Her company, her jet, her empire. She had erased me from all of it. But she forgot one thing. I didn't build it for her. I built it. Period. I drove without speaking, without thinking, just movement. Forward. Her betrayal didn't burn hot. It settled, slow, like ice creeping into my lungs. I spent the next few weeks tracing the gaps. Our accounts, her schedules, her lawyers. The new man, young, sharp-jawed, always seated beside her at charity events. She'd rewritten her life quickly, sloppily. But I wasn't chasing her. I was chasing my software. It had always been mine. I wrote the code, designed the architecture, controlled the back-end keys she never bothered to understand. She loved to parade me as her supportive, quiet husband. Supportive, quiet, invisible. She'd told the press it was her genius, her vision. She never once asked where the real ownership papers were filed, under which shell company, which digital vault. She didn't know. But I did. I monitored the servers from a distance, logged in, quietly, watched as her company's lifeblood pulsed through lines of code I still controlled. The transfer of power would be seamless. I built it that way. Not out of malice, out of instinct. I knew she'd try to push me out one day. I just didn't know she'd do it on a runway. She returned home to an empty house, her things untouched, the closets full, but me, gone. No forwarded address, no angry letters, just silence, and a locked server. Her assistant called me 3 times, her CTO twice, her lawyer once. I answered none of them, until she called. The first word out of her mouth wasn't my name. It was, "What did you do?" I said nothing. She'd already seen the shutdown, the platform frozen, the access revoked, the contracts dead in the water. She built her world on my creation, and I dismantled it without lifting my voice. She screamed into the phone, threats, begging, bargains. I stayed quiet. When she finally stopped, gasping, I asked her one thing. "Tell me, who owns the jet now?" The line went dead. I didn't want her money, didn't need revenge that screamed. I wanted something she couldn't repair. Control. I triggered the transfer protocols. Ownership of the software reverted to my holding company. Her empire, now mine. Silent, legal, impeccable. Her lawyers scrambled. But paperwork doesn't beg. I signed over the rights to a competitor for $1. The competitor would own it. She would be left with the shell, the image, nothing underneath. I watched the press unravel her story, her software gone, her valuation in free fall. The same investors who toasted her success now pulled the chairs out from under her. She called again, more voicemails, long ones, short ones, some angry, some not, all of them unanswered. I didn't want an apology, I didn't want her tears, I wanted her to live in what she built, a world without me. She kicked me off her jet like I was excess baggage, and that's exactly what I became. Weight she thought she could shed without consequence. But weight, it shifts, it rolls downhill, it crushes what's not built to hold it. I didn't burn her world, I simply walked away with the one piece that mattered, the piece she never bothered to understand, me. The difference between silence and surrender is simple. I chose this, and I never looked back.